What's up, everybody? I know it's been a while since I've done a video. This video is going to be about COVID-19 and depression, suicide, and the dangers of kind of this social distancing and how it can play on your mind state, and how it's played on my mind state. So like I said, it's been a little bit since I've done a video. I was sick for about a month. Back at the end of February, I started getting sick. I started getting a cough. I couldn't breathe very well, fevers. And it wasn't like anything I've ever really been sick with. And, it was kind of weird. I didn't really know what it was at first. And I kind of started getting better. Me and my girlfriend both had it. A co-worker I worked with, we all had the same symptoms. And we'd heard about coronavirus, but it wasn't, I didn't really think I had it. I thought I just had the flu maybe, or just something that I hadn't had before. So I'd start getting better, and then all of a sudden I'd start getting worse again. And I was getting really fatigued and feeling dizzy and just not feeling very good, not feeling well, just kind of wondering what the heck was going on with me. And where I live, so I'm from, northern Utah. Some of you guys might know that. May have talked to one of your kids' schools or to your business, or maybe you've heard me on a local podcast. So yeah, up here in Utah, there's not a whole lot of coronavirus cases. And even at the end of February, there wasn't a bunch of them anyway. So I don't know, I was just kind of on the fence. But then after about 3 weeks or so of not feeling right, I was like, I better go to the doctor. I was missing work. I was feeling pretty bummed out, just feeling really crappy. So I go to the doctor, and just to go to a normal appointment, and that's when they had started checking people's temperatures, and I had a fever when I went to go into the doctor, and I was tested for COVID-19. I was tested for influenza and COVID-19. That process itself, if you haven't been through it, it's not too terrible. I know there's a lot of people are freaked out about the test. I don't know how they're testing out. They're still doing the swab, but the swab wasn't too bad. It wasn't fun, but it wasn't terrible either. If you was a kid or something like that, it might be a little bit different. But yeah, for the most part, just stick a Q-tip up your nose pretty far and wiggle it around. And you're done. So I waited 4 or 5 days, and it came back negative. While I was waiting for my test, I ended up bumping my elbow on something, and my elbow got all swollen and red and hot, and I was just feeling crappy. I couldn't sleep, and my elbow overnight, it looked like there was like a tangerine under the skin on my elbow. So I went to the doctor, and I had a really bad infection. They thought maybe it was a staph infection or something like that under the skin. Again, fevers, just feeling really bad. So the last 10 days or so, I've been on high levels of antibiotics. And yeah, I just really been feeling crappy like the last month. And what happened was I started really getting into this like depressed state, a few weeks ago. This was last week. And, I just started thinking really negatively, thinking about like all the things that are wrong in my life. I've came a long way in my life. You watch some of my other videos, I've overcome a lot of adversity, and it's like, I couldn't see that at all. I just couldn't see any of that. All I could see was my problems. I don't have a college education. I've been to college, but I don't have a degree. It's, there's all these different things that I was thinking bad about, not being able to get up, not feeling well, what am I gonna, how am I gonna get my message out? How am I gonna make a difference in the world? Like, why hasn't more things happened for me? All these different scenarios, I couldn't really do anything, couldn't go anywhere. And it was bad, and I hadn't been in that dark of a place for quite a long time. So what I started doing is I started, talking to people and writing stuff down. I started writing down like how I felt, why I felt the way I felt. And it was kind of interesting. When I wrote it down, I started realizing like how ludicrous my ideology was, like how far I have came since shooting myself back in 2006. And what am I doing? Why am I feeling like this? I have a family, I have a job, I have somewhere to live, people have trusted me to come speak to their kids at their schools, like all these different things. And, I wasn't thinking any of that stuff. And I think a lot of it, being sick, and then you have this big, huge social disruption, right? Of this coronavirus. And it's tough, it's a tough thing, and it plays on your mind, and I think right now there's a lot of people out there that are having issues, that are getting depressed and suicidal. I mean, right now, if you think about it, how many people are losing their jobs, and can't pay their bills and don't know how they're going to come up with rent. Sure, you have rent forgiveness and all this stuff, but, there's a lot of uncertainties, and say someone just landed this job they've been waiting years to get, and now all of a sudden they don't have it anymore, and they don't know what they're going to do. They can't understand where they're at. Just like me, how I was a week ago. They can't get out of their own way. All they see is what's bad, all the negativity. That's all. And then they watch it on TV. They're seeing it on social media, and it just perpetuates. It gets it snowballs into this big, huge thing that you can't see around. And that's dangerous. That's how people end up taking their lives. So, we gotta come together, and we need to start, my thing is I want to try to give people ways to, get out of this cycle. Number one is, start talking to people, write stuff down, listen to some music, stuff like that, move around. Here's the thing though, a lot of times is when you're depressed and you're not feeling very good, you don't really want to move around. You want to lay around, take a nap, eat, stuff like that. It's really not going to help you. But then if you don't feel like getting active, write some stuff down, send a text message to a friend. Say that if you were feeling suicidal and you were going to write a suicide letter, I know this sounds crazy, but if you started writing something like that out and you started reading what you were saying, a lot of it might be like, what am I talking about here? What am I actually talking about doing? I'm really considering ending my life. And I don't know, I think, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist. All I know is what I know, what I've experienced, from all the adversity that I've been through. So that's all I can speak on, and in hopes that it can give you some insight, right? Like I said, right now with the social distancing stuff, people think that they're separate. We're not separate. We have to stand united. We have to stand together on this thing. We have to. There's going to be people out there that are going to be like, it ain't real. It's just like the flu. There's other people who are like, there's going to be 20 million cases in the country by the end of the year. There's going to be, hundreds of thousands of people that die, millions of people that die. You have both sides, right? Try not to get too caught up in it. I mean, it's okay to be educated about something. If you're nervous, I think that's perfectly normal. I wouldn't sit here and tell you, don't be nervous about something like this. I think you have every right to be nervous about it, With that being said, though, if it was the case that, say, your whole society was going to fall apart, would you want to spend the last time that you had being stressed out and scared? Because I know the times when I've almost lost my life, all that stuff goes away. Those moments leading up to that, all that stuff disappears, and all the fickle things of life disappear. And so if that was the case and you truly felt like society is going to completely collapse, be happy. Be with all the people you love. Do all the stuff that you want to do. Don't go out and rob banks and stuff like that. Don't go out and start acting too crazy, but do things that are going to make you happy. If there's something that you've wanted to do for a long time, start trying to do it, because you don't know. Am I going to tell you, oh, the world, society's going to collapse in the next 6 months? I ain't going to tell you that. Do I know? No, I don't know. I don't think so. I think we're going to be fine. I think that this is like a forced adversity on the population. And I actually think it's somewhat of a good thing in a way. It's unfortunate that people are losing their lives. it's unfortunate that people are in such a high stress environment and that we have this situation. But at the same time, you have the opportunity to grow exponentially because of that adversity. You know, a lot of people, you know, some people go through life and they don't face much adversity. And now we're kind of all facing it. And adversity always gives you an opportunity to grow. Every single time. Every time. There's always insight to be found inside of adversity. I've never been through a hard situation in my life where I did not learn something about life in itself or myself. So think of it like that. You know, another thing that's really tough is these kids who aren't going to school. You know, as parents are stressed out because it's like, oh man, my kids are going to be here all day. They're driving me nuts. And the kids, they don't, you know, a lot of them, I don't think they want to be home all the time either. You know, they want to be at school with their friends and, you know, doing schoolwork and having a normal life and running out and being on the playground and doing all these things that kids like to do and teenagers like to do. You know what I mean? And it's hard on them too. And we have to know that, you know, we know that adolescents have a high suicide rate, you know, and this is going to be tough on them too. So just because we're all locked inside together, take this opportunity to talk to your kids, you know. And if you're a kid and you're watching this, you're a younger person watching this, take this time to talk to your parents about how you feel. You know, just like I said, you don't know what's going to happen, right? You know, there's some crazy stuff going on in the world right now. You know, there's no doubt about it. You know, look at the situation. Look at the situation in Utah, and it's worse other places. Some places it's not as bad. So think about that. You don't know what's going to happen, right? Probably nothing. We'll probably be fine. And then probably 2-3 months, you know, midsummer, something like that, we're going to be okay. But this is an opportunity to tell your parents how you feel. Tell them who you are. Let them know who you are. You know, just shine. Do all the stuff that you wanted to do. Same with the parents. Be open. If you're a parent, be open with your child. Talk to them about how you feel. You know, what you want to see them succeed at. What you want to see them do with their lives. Let them know. Communicate. You know, if you haven't talked to relatives that live far away, call them. See how they're doing. You know, check in with people. There's another thing that I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about getting a Facebook. I have Facebook. So if you want to get a hold of me, if you don't have someone to talk to, so if you're watching this right now, you're depressed, you're upset. I know you have all the suicide hotlines and all that stuff. I'm not sure locally what is open or not. I have some family members that have some mental illness, and that's pretty tough because, you know, with the social distancing, you can't go and reassure them that everything's going to be okay. I have someone close to me who's a paranoid schizophrenic, and they think that people are after him, and it's hard not being able to go and, you know, tell them that everything's going to be all right in person. So with that being said, if you need somebody to talk to and those things aren't available to you, then you can message me. You can look me up on Facebook, Casey Tucker. I have Twitter too, but I'm just starting to get into that Twitter. I'll link it. I'll link my Twitter account and you can follow me. But I was thinking about doing like a group chat. If any of you want to be involved in that, message me on Facebook, because I think there's a lot of people out there who don't have anyone to talk to. They don't know what to do. Maybe they moved somewhere and they don't have any family there, and they just don't have any friends, family. Now they're locked inside. You know, they don't know what to do. We have to stand together. We have to. This is the perfect opportunity. You know, a few months ago, everyone was doing what they wanted to do. I'm talking about suicide prevention, depression, all these stuff. There's a lot of people that were like, yeah, right on. That's cool. There's a lot of people jumping on board. You know, right now, we have to do this. Not just suicide and depression, but for everything, for everybody. We have to stand together. We have to, you know, fighting in the stores over toilet paper and all this stuff. This is craziness. What are we doing here? You know, look at who we are. Look at what we are. Look at what the human race has done throughout all of history. We are greatness. That we are born with greatness within us. Period. We can do anything. United, we can do anything. Period. So let's be united. Please, let's do this. Let's be united. Message me. We'll get a group together. If you want to be involved, we'll get it on Facebook. We'll post it out other places. And if people need someone to talk to, they can come into the group chat and talk to them. So I got to go back to work. I've been off work now for a couple weeks with this sickness. So I go back to work on Monday. And, yeah, so I'll have a lot of time available still. But there's other people that may be out of work right now, and you're going to have a lot more time on your hands to be able to talk to people. Let's do this. Let's pull people out of the gutter. Let's do it. Let's make stuff happen. Let's show what we really are, what we're really capable of. We were built to do grand things. This is the way it is. And we will do this together. There's no doubt about it. I was going to do a TEDx actually too. And that got postponed or maybe possibly canceled, which is difficult. So, I really need to start getting on this platform more. Let's just spread this out everywhere. Go back to my previous YouTube videos. You can see why I'm doing this. I'll keep putting more videos up now that I'm feeling better. Knowing so many people personally that have mental illness in my area, so many people have committed suicide. There's so much depression. It's just crazy. It breaks my heart. And I'm one of them. Like I said, just last week, I was depressed. Like I was in a bad place, right? All the things that have happened to me in my life, you would think, oh man, you should be good. Like you're good. And the way it works. Just because you've overcome all these things does not mean that you can't get knocked back down. And it's okay to get knocked down. It's all right. It's all right to feel down. It's all right to be depressed. It's all right to be sad. It's all right to cry. It's all right to feel bad. It's okay. It's about how you react to it. It's about how you come out of it. If you can do it alone, cool. You don't have to do it alone though. You don't have to. And I would say don't do it alone. You're better off. I was talking to someone a few days ago, and he told me, he's like, I know that you're trying to do a lot of great things, and you're trying to grow yourself and learn all these things and become a better person. Why do it alone? Surely you can do it alone, but why? If people have the same mission or the same goals, align with them. Because together, we're unstoppable. Period. Think about like basketball teams. You look at any team sports, the same thing. You can have a superstar who takes over a game, but you have a team who works very well together. It's ridiculous. It's amazing to watch. And that's the opportunity we have right now. And so I think that we've been given an opportunity to show how great we are, and let's not blow it. Let's not blow it. So with that, I hope everyone's doing okay. Try to stay positive. We're going to get through this stuff. It's just temporary. This is a temporary thing. Like I said, look at it as an opportunity. I know there's a lot of people learning new stuff. There's people learning crafts, reading books, writing books, all that stuff. I haven't been writing my book. I've been laying down. So I haven't been doing these videos either. But that's all changing, and it's all good. You look back and say, oh, I haven't done this and I haven't done that. It's okay. Tomorrow, or later today, light the fire. Let's rock. So it's okay. And all the people out there who have been supporting me, watching my videos, supporting me in my personal life, work, outside of work, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. It means so much to me. I'm not this guy who likes to air myself out too much. This is kind of a newer thing. I've said this in other videos, but I'm going for it, because I believe not only in myself, but I believe in all of you, everybody. And so I believe that being that kind of individual, it's my duty. It's kind of the way I look at it. It's like, I need to do this. This is something that I have to do, because I believe in it so much. I believe, that all you need to do is talk to somebody that you can relate to, that just sparks something in you to change your path, so that your mom, your dad, your sister, whoever it is, doesn't get a call saying that you've taken your own life. And not only that, but just living in misery anyway. I've lived in misery for years. For years, I put myself through so much, and I'm done with it. I still do it, obviously. Like I said, it still happens. I'm not perfect. It's something that you work out over time. You see people get on YouTube, they make videos and they say, oh, I'm a millionaire and I've got a business and I've done all these great things. And that's awesome. That's awesome. Guess what? Not everyone's there yet. People still struggle. And that's what I'm here to do, is to show you my struggle, to tell you the things I've done wrong, so that you can look at me and be like, yeah, maybe I've done that too. Or I don't want to do that, so I'm going to go this other way. That's the whole point. So like I said, I hope you guys are doing all right through this whole COVID-19 nastiness. It's crazy. We are going to get through it. There's no doubt. Is there going to be some strife? Is there going to be some hard times? Probably so. And that's okay though, because we can handle it. We got it. It's good. We'll be okay. Especially if we have each other. Especially if you reach out, talk to some people. You'll be fine. We'll be all right. Message me, message one of your family members, whatever, So like and subscribe. Let's spread this message. Let's get this going. I'm going to keep doing these videos, keep letting you know what's going on with me. And if you have a story about your experience with, say, COVID-19, depression because of COVID-19, any of that, share it. Your kids, share it. Leave a comment, share it. Let's have a discussion. Let's start talking. We ain't got nothing else to do. So let's talk. Let's see what we can come up with. Let's make a difference. Let's do some good in the world.